Good morning, Spartans. I'm Jackson Devers.
And I am Cortez Mack, and we are bringing you the Timeline broadcast this Thursday morning.
So Cortez, it's midterms. How are you feeling? I feel like it snuck up on us, honestly.
Well, honestly, what I can say is I'm very prepared. I'm very confident in my studying, and I think I'm going to do great.
I love that. Me personally, it's just like, well, I feel like school just started, and like, oh, now I have to study for midterms. Dang.
I know, right? But we are prepared, and
We are prepared, and we are coming for midterms, and we're going to do great.
Over the weekend, MBU hosted another Spartan Preview Day. This was a fantastic event that was held by NBU Admissions, and it was a great way to showcase to new prospective students looking to learn more about MBU, and this weekend was no exception. MBU Timeline has this story.
On October 7th, MBU hosted their biannual Spartan Preview Day, a day dedicated to giving prospective students a taste of the MBU community. Assistant Director of Guest Experiences, Haley Eaton, shares what made this year's Spartan Preview Day different.
So Spartan Preview Day is really a day for prospective students and their families to get on campus and really just get a feel of what MBU is doing. So they get to get a glimpse of our chapel experience, as well as hear from Skylar, and hear from a few main people on campus, just to see like why Christian higher ed, why come here basically. This year at lunch, just kind of, I was running around really busy trying to make sure everything was taken care of, but I just kind of stood there for a second and took in, wow, this is really cool, just seeing all these meaningful conversations happening across the room. And it was just really cool to see those connections being made and feeling like, wow, I think this is really what it's all about. And this is what MBU is all about too.
For MBU Timeline, this has been Andrew McCubbins.
This past Friday, the business school held its annual networking fair, which gave business students an opportunity to connect with employers from the St. Louis area. Students were treated to a free breakfast and a lecture from Mark Miller, the former Vice President of High Performance Leadership. We sent one of our reporters to cover the fair and tell us exactly what happened. Take a listen.
The College of Business and Entrepreneurship holds an annual networking fair every semester, which gives students the opportunity to network with different employers in the St. Louis area. Those that attended were treated to a light breakfast provided by Chick-fil-A and Panera Bread. During this breakfast, attendees got the chance to talk to representatives from different companies about what they do. Later, attendees heard from Mark Miller, the keynote speaker and former Vice President of High Performance Leadership at Chick-fil-A. Miller taught on rules that determine the health, vitality, and sustainability of a workplace culture, equipping the audience to build organizations that show high potential and transform it into performance. He also gave out free copies of his new book titled Culture Rules. For MBU Timeline, this has been Nick Kelly.
And let's rewind the clock to the weekend of September 20th when MBU Esports sent our varsity Valorant team to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to compete in a pro tournament in the Pittsburgh Knights Esports Arena.
Our Spartans held their own and came out victorious in their first 4 matchups before getting knocked out of the tournament in their 5th matchup by Oxygen Esports. We had the distinct delight of chatting with 2 of our varsity Valorant players, Jacob and Riley, also known by their in-game names, Cavern and Demon, about the tournament as well as what it takes to compete at this level.
My name is Jacob, aka Cavern, and I'm a cybersecurity major.
My name is Riley, IGN is Demon, and my major right now is pre-engineering, so in the engineering field.
Since esports matchups are often participated in remotely, this in-person experience was a real treat, and Jacob and Riley were more than happy to share what made it memorable for them.
My favorite part had to have been seeing a lot of friends I haven't seen in upwards of 5 years, but also being able to play on stage in front of everyone there and being able to show up and perform in front of everyone.
Yeah, I'd like to say my personal thoughts are kind of similar. It's always fun to meet people that you talk to online, and compete against them is even better. Especially on the big stage, and getting to play with my teammates, of course, on stage is always fun. Yeah, it's just great experience overall.
After telling us about their overall favorite experiences at the tournament, Jacob and Riley went on to tell us about their favorite matchups.
My favorite's got to be when we play versus Complexity. There's a little tension. I'm friends with everyone on their team, but me and their coach had a little friendly rivalry going back and forth. And after we beat them, I stood up just clapping and just like screaming over, like making fun of them.
Yeah, that's great. There was a game off stage. It was against Zerona's team. I don't remember what their team name was. I played really well. I don't really have a favorite round. It was just a fun series overall. Probably enjoyed it the most. Probably got the loudest then, even though we weren't on stage, but it is what it is. So, yeah, that game against them was probably my favorite experience at that LAN.
Shout out to Jacob and Riley for joining us on this week's MBU Timeline. Make sure to keep an eye on MBU Esports Twitter for live stream links this weekend as Jacob, Riley, and their teammates compete in Red Bull's esports tournament in Kansas City. And now, here's Nick with sports.
Good morning, Spartans. I'm Nick Kelly with your Spartan Sports Update. We had a big week on the volleyball court with 2 AMC Players of the Week, with Sarah Klunder winning Attacker of the Week and Kaylee Hanger winning Defender of the Week. Klunder had a killer game with a 20-kill outing, and Hanger had a crazy week with a 24 dig. Great work, Spartans, and keep making us proud. We had some great running for our cross-country team this week. The Spartan runners did a fantastic job keeping their composure and getting in the top 10 teams of the Bethel Invitational. Donovan Denslow placed 3rd out of 182 runners, which is absolutely amazing. Am I right? So keep running towards that goal, Spartans. We had a tough week in women's soccer with Bellevue University giving the Spartans their loss this week, beating us 2-1. But there were still great players, with Maddie Donahue scoring the only goal for the Spartans. This game does not define the season, so let's go win that next game. I'm Nick Kelly, and this has been your Spartan Sports Update. Thank you for watching, and let's throw it back to Cortez and Jackson.
And that's all for this week's Timeline Update in the news.
For more spectacular stories from around the MBU community, visit MBU Timeline at the link on your screen. And thank you for watching. For MBU Timeline, I'm Jackson Devers.
And I'm Cortez Mack, and we'll see you next week for MBU Timeline Broadcast.